Good morning, everybody. This is Susan Jane, and we are doing another setting our intentions for the week. Now, I hope you had a great weekend. I remember last week our intentions were set for what was it about abundance, and what the results were going to be was time out. Now, I don't know about you, but I had a great weekend and I did manage to get some time out. But I also ran a workshop over the weekend at Rainbow Beach, and big shout out to Rainbow Beach. And I was expecting like 5 or 6 ladies, hopefully that would have been a good incentive for me just to sort of see how things were going, and ended up having actually 19 book. So it was amazing, absolutely a great weekend, and I still managed to have that time out. So I got the abundance and I got the time out at the same time. So my intentions worked really, really well. That's what we want to look at with today. So we're going to look at our intentions today. Now, at the workshop, we did goals. We did flower readings. So the ladies actually created their own flower readings. I've got one here. I'll have a quick show. I'll show you what this one looks like. Now, what the ladies, oh, hang on, I better do the right way. So I want to share a screen, and it's that one. No, I want to do a window. I'll show you what this one turned out like. I'm going to do a proper reading on it. This one is what the lady did for her relationship goal. So that's what it was all part of. So what we did was a gentle meditation, and we worked out what the goal was, and then we took that forward. So that was hers for the week. I'm going to do a reading on that and put that forward so everyone knows what it's all about. But that's what we did over there. So this one we're going to set our intentions for. I'm just going to do a little card dealing here. If you wanted to, I'll open up the private chat or the chats comments. If you want to leave a comment, if you want a card, if you want to get an understanding of something, just let me know. I've rushed through these before because yeah, I get a little bit nervous. I actually have been putting them on my private page. I'm not doing it this time. This time it's just going through the group. So I'm not expecting to have a lot of people see it. I really don't care, because I've got to the conclusion now that I'm doing this for me. And hopefully, while I'm doing this for me, I should turn the phone off. While I'm doing this for me, I'm also getting helping other people. So I'm going to turn it down now so you can see the cards. As you can see, I've got the spread there. I'll move that over. So this is how we've got the card set up. Now, number one is obviously what the card and the reading is all about. Number two is the blocks that we have for those cards for that time. Number three is how to overcome the blocks, because although we've got a block at number two, it doesn't necessarily mean that to do the opposite of what that block is going to achieve it. Because often with our mindset that we have, if we've created a block to start with, we may have trouble changing that block by using that same sort of mindset. So although number two is the block, number three is maybe changing your thought patterns, changing your mindset to improve on that aspect of it. So how to deal with that. So for our intentions this week, it is all about a happy move to a new home or place or employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. Now, it's really strange because I'm having a lot of issues at home at the moment. So this reading will be quite interesting to see where it goes, because at the moment my focus is all about home, whether I need to move, whether I do need to create another area or aspect. And funnily enough, I'm also looking at employment too in a different context as well. So when I'm looking at these cards, we can sort of start to get an understanding, okay, so this is what our intentions are for this week. This is what we're going to look at, what we're going to set. Your home, what's that look like? Your employment, what's that all about? Now, what the blocks have been so far is, and I've got this upside down for me, so as you honour and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So when I look at that, we sort of go, okay, so what I probably haven't been doing is following or honouring my heart, honouring where I need to go, and consequently not getting the prosperity that I would hope for. And that's what happened over the weekend. The fact was, I honoured my heart and followed that, and it did bring me a prosperous aspect. When I'm looking at home or employment, the employment I have is to do with finances, and I'm doing a job in one area and I'm following my passion in the other area. So doing live readings, doing the podcast, doing workshops is all about following my passion. And I've only just started really getting into that because I've always felt that the job was the one that was bringing in the money, not the passion. So maybe that's why that's been a bit of a block. I need to change my thought pattern on that. So when we go to card 3, we start to look at Grace and Antoinette. To help heal the situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. And I also see this as getting support or guidance or help from somebody else, because there's 2 people in this image. So when we look at this card, I tend to go with sometimes you need to be listening or getting advice from other people. Other times you don't, but you only take on board what you need to do and what suits you. So when I look at that in comparison to my situation, I start to go, well, hang on. If it's about home, I need to look at it in all aspects of the home and look at the other person's point of view as well. If it was about employment or about the finances or my job, I need to have a look at that and what does that look like on the other person's point of view as well. So get a better understanding of it. Things have gone very quiet in the job that I work at because of COVID. And I sort of think, well, maybe I need to look at something else to help me through the finances. But when I start to look at it with compassion for the people that own the boutique marketing place that I work for, you start to go, well, hang on, they're having a bit of a downtime too. So maybe it's not the opportunity to find another position or find a new employment. Maybe it's the opportunity just to ease that one off a little bit and build up my business, build up my side of things and start to bring aspects through that on that side of it. So we can look at it in that way. So if it was you and you were going through a deciding whether you wanted to move home or whether you wanted to move jobs, have an understanding of if you're doing that because you are following your actual heart, or are you following the prosperity? Because if you follow your heart, the prosperity would come. That's where your blockage has been, in the wrong mindset. You're looking at looking at money. Maybe it'll be cheaper rent, or we'll sell the house, or we'll get another job, a different job. It'll bring in more money. It's not the money you need to be looking at. It's the heart aspect, and that's what's blocking you. You haven't got your heart in it. So to get a clearer understanding of it, have a look at what the other person's doing. If you're talking about moving homes, it might be moving homes for, and you're with a partner, and there may be an issue there that they're not ready to move or they don't want to move. Or you're looking at employment, and because you're not happy in your position, whereas if you talked or saw your boss or that sort of aspect of it and get an understanding of what they're going through and why the situations may have changed or been different, then you can start to look at it in a different light. You're getting everyone's perspective. Now, I'm not saying that their perspective is necessarily correct and you should always go with theirs. I'm just saying you take that into consideration, and that's what I've done with mine. So the final card is about the results you can achieve from following your intuition. So Acacia is, you are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. So when we start to look at that, we start to go into all the spiritual aspects of it. And when we follow our intuition, we are naturally people will naturally see different aspects of you coming through. They start to see a person who becomes more self-reliant, more confident. They see a person who knows that, well, they watch you go through the issues that you have, and still get through them in a really positive manner or a positive way. So that we start to look at is, a spiritual teacher is not necessarily someone who is, I don't know, I guess like me, that's sharing that spiritual knowledge. A spiritual teacher can be somebody just as an individual that turns around and goes, no, I'm not going to cope with that anymore. I'm not going to accept that anymore. If you're having problems with a situation and they see you stand up and say, no, that's not suiting me, that is where you start to actually teach people to trust their gut. You teach people to believe in themselves, to believe in their intuitive messages that they are receiving. So when you stand up and start doing it, you teach by example. And that's what this is all about. Is there somebody that's watching you go through this? Is there somebody that's trying to get an understanding of this that's around you that may be looking at it? Is somebody there thinking, I might move home too, or I might look at getting a different job because you're talking about it? So get a bit of an understanding of that, because your decisions will affect other people, and we know that, and let's affect them in a positive way. I remember dealing with situations with, say, your children, being an older parent now, dealing with situations with your children. And I remember thinking to myself that my daughter is going through what she was going through because she watched me go through it and she watched me accept it, instead of me standing up and saying, no, that's enough, that I will not tolerate that any longer, and drawing that line in the sand. If I had done that in my relationship many, many moons ago, maybe she wouldn't have had to experience it the same way she's had to. So we all learn in our different ways and we all get a clearer understanding of it. But this is our intentions for this week. Our intentions are to focus on home or employment, what we're looking at there. Our blocks are about the prosperity towards it and following your heart. So we're following the money instead of our heart is the block. How to heal that, how to get through that block, is maybe ask somebody else what they're going through, or get an understanding of anyone else that's involved in this. So if it's employment, you obviously have your boss or your employees or your staff or members. If it's about a home, there could be other people involved in the home. It could be a partner, it could be children. Get an understanding of what they're going through, and be compassionate about it. I'm not saying you have to do everything in regards to everyone else, but be compassionate about what they're experiencing too, and how maybe you can create a win-win situation, because the results are going to be that somebody is watching you and learning from you. So what you decide to do, what you put forward, people are watching. So this will be by the weekend, people are going to be seeing what's going on and how you're coping with it and how you're dealing with it. So that's our intentions for this week. Again, it's a little bit quieter this week, and I am going to do a live flower. I'm going to do a flower reading later on, as I told you from the workshop that you just saw, and that will be there. So the podcast is going to be, I think it's going to be, well, it is on Thursday, but I think it's going to be about enough is enough, or when is enough enough. Probably talking a little bit more about what I'm going through a little at the moment, and how what I'm doing may help others if they're experiencing the same sort of a situation, when you sort of feel enough is enough, and how that's going to affect there. So it's really quite surprising, because this is at the forefront at the moment of my mind. So let's see how I do it. I've got to practice following the heart, not the money, and being compassionate about what other people are going through. And then, woohoo, it'll all come together. All right, guys, that's it from me. I hope you have a great week. I will do this again next Tuesday. As I'm getting, get myself back into a routine and everything else, I will actually start to put this forward. I think I got a little bit nervous because I was doing it on my public profile. I don't really like putting it on my public profile, so I'm going to be doing it on this one. I'm a lot more calmer and a lot more easier. I feel that if people want to see it, they will come to the group, they will come to YouTube, they will come. Build it, they will come. All right, that's me. Have a great week, and I will catch you next week. All right, bye for now.